Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So tonight there's no moon and I have a clear sky, so I shall be imaging here from home under my Bortle 4 skies, and I shall be using the Askar FRA400 on the HEQ5 Pro mount with the ZWO 2600 MC Pro camera. Now, a common question I get asked is, do light pollution filters actually work? Are they needed under darker skies? So tonight I'm going to be imaging the Heart Nebula, and I'm going to do a filtered versus unfiltered comparison. I should be using 4 filters and I should shoot unfiltered as well. I should be using the same settings on the same target and hopefully do it all in one evening. So if you're wondering what filters you should use, and especially under darker skies, then hopefully this comparison test will help you make up your mind. So these are the 4 filters I'm going to be using. I've got the Optolong L-eXtreme, the Optolong L-Pro, there's Altair Astro's 6nm dual narrowband filter, HA-OIII, and there's Altair Astro's Tri-Band RGB filter. So I'm going to try all these 4 and unfiltered, and we'll have a look at all of the differences. So to start with, there's no filter in the drawer here, and I shall set the rig up and get it running and do the first test unfiltered. So I'm now going to go into the ASIAIR and set this up. So if I select the Heart Nebula, which is IC 1805, and then I'll hit the go to button, and the mount will now slew round to the Heart Nebula. Okay, so it's found it, target is centered, so I shall get the guiding running and then I'll do an autofocus. So focus is complete, and now it's going to start the imaging session, which will be 15 2-minute subs, and these will be unfiltered. Right, so this is the first 2-minute sub unfiltered on the Heart Nebula. You can see a little bit of faint detail. You can just see the fish head nebula there, and you can see some of the HA structure of the Heart Nebula. It's very faint, but once we get enough of these subs to stack together, we will see a little bit more of that detail in the Heart Nebula. Okay, so 30 minutes of unfiltered subs are now complete. So I'm now going to put in this Optolong L-Pro filter. Okay, so now the filter's in, I'm going to have to refocus it, and then I'll set it up to run another 30 minutes. Okay, so this is the first 3-minute sub using the L-Pro filter, and as you can see, it has actually helped bring out a little bit more detail in the heart. You can see a bit more of the Heart Nebula shape, and you can see a little bit more in the fish head. However, the L-Pro is predominantly a light pollution filter and is more geared towards broadband targets. It's not really designed for emission nebula. But having said that, there's a clear difference between this and being unfiltered. So we'll get 30 minutes of the L-Pro and stack them all together, and we'll be able to compare them all at the end. Right, so that's the L-Pro filter done with. So I'm now going to swap this out, and I'm going to put in the Optolong L-eXtreme, and I'm going to give that 5-minute subs, and then I will still stick with 30 minutes, and we'll see how that filter performs. So the L-eXtreme is ideal for emission nebula, and it is a 7nm dual narrowband filter. Okay, so let's quickly set this up for the L-eXtreme. I'm going to change the sub length to 5 minutes, which is 300 seconds. So I'm going to need 6 of these, which is still going to be 30 minutes in total. Wow, so you can see the detail that's been brought out by using the L-eXtreme filter. This filter is clearly designed to work with emission nebula, so that's really brought out a lot of structure of the heart and the fish head there. So once these subs are all stacked, we'll see the final result with this filter. So now I'm going to change the filter over to the Altair Astro dual narrowband HA-OIII filter. Okay, so now I've changed the filter. I'm now going to change this exposure time to 450 seconds for this 6nm dual narrowband filter. So it looks like we're going to be doing a meridian flip in 11 minutes and 10 seconds. So if I hit start, it will do a refocus, and then it will stop probably before it does the first sub, and it will do the meridian flip. Just have to wait and see what happens here. So the rig is now doing the flip. Right, we're centered. Should now go into autofocus. Here we go. So once this is complete, it will start the next 30 minutes using the dual narrowband HA and O3 filter. It's now doing the first sub of 4, which will still be a total of 30 minutes. So let's just leave that running and we'll come back later. Wow, look at the difference in that. This is a 6nm dual narrowband HA and O3. This filter is by Altair Astro, and that has done a fantastic job. So when this is complete, I will put in the Tri-Band RGB. So that's the dual narrowband HA and O3 filter done with. So let's just get that out, put that back in the box, and now we'll get out the Tri-RGB. Just give it a quick blow, we'll get the dust off. Right, now let's go and get that back on the rig. So this here may be of interest to you. I started this session tonight before it was dark, so I didn't really have time to install this here, because this would have helped me out. You've seen that I had to change each filter individually into a single filter drawer. Well, I have here a 2-inch 5-position filter drawer from Altair Astro. Now, had I have got this installed on the rig, I could have put all of those filters in here, and it would have saved me taking each filter out and changing it over one at a time. Next time I do something like this, I'm hoping to have this installed on the rig, but I really didn't have time tonight because, like I said, it was already dark before I even started imaging. So I just wanted to get on with the project. So this is another project. I will be installing this on the rig soon. I'm going to put a link in the description below to this product here. So if you're interested, there is a link in the description below to Altair Astro. Well, the first sub from the Tri-Band filter is in, and as you can see, it is showing some detail, but it's not as much as the dual narrowband filters like the HA03 dual narrowband or the L-eXtreme dual narrowband. But you can definitely see some of the structure there of the Heart Nebula and the fish head. So once this is all stacked together, we'll be able to see all the differences between the filters a lot better. Okay, so let's just let this run to the end, and then I'll get all the data in on a PC, stack it all and get some editing done. So now they have all been stacked, I'm bringing them into Pixel site, and I'm going to bring them in one at a time. I shall bring them in the order that they were imaged. So the first master to bring in will be the unfiltered stack. I'm going to keep everything simple with this. I'm going to keep it quick and simple. This is not going to be a big edit. I'm just going to crop them all the same. I will stretch them. I will apply blur exterminator, noise exterminator. I shall take all the stars out. I will do gradient removal with Grexpert. So it's all going to be quick and simple, and they're all going to be done exactly the same. So the question I wanted to answer with this video was, do you actually need filters under darker skies? So I'm imaging the Heart Nebula, which is a large emission nebula from here in my home, Bortle 4 skies. There's no moon, the conditions are already pretty good. So what's important to understand here is that not all filters are designed to do the same job. And the Heart Nebula is a very specific target. So in short, dark skies help, but the right filters will help even more. So starting with the unfiltered. This is going to give the most natural result in terms of star colour and star count. And you can see how many stars there are actually in this region. But for an emission nebula like the Heart, the signal is going to be very faint even under Bortle 4 skies. So without a filter, you'll need a lot more total integration time for the nebula to actually stand out. Right, so next is the Optolong L-Pro, and this is not an emission nebula filter. This is actually a broadband light pollution filter, and it's designed to slightly darken the background and to help keep the star color intact. So on a target like the Heart Nebula, the L-Pro shows some extra structure compared to the unfiltered, but the improvement is subtle. So the Optolong L-eXtreme 7nm. This L-eXtreme filter is a true dual band filter, and it's passing only the hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 light. So this is where the Heart Nebula really starts to stand out. So by blocking almost everything except these emission lines, the background drops away and the signal strength really starts to stand out. So the strongest result here comes from the Altair Astro 6nm dual HA and O3 filter. So it's very similar to the L-eXtreme, but it is slightly narrower, and that small difference will actually make a big impact. The background is slightly cleaner and the fainter outer structure of the nebula is slightly stronger. So overall the signal to noise ratio is the best of the lot. So Altair's Tri-Band RGB is really designed as a compromise filter, enhancing emission nebula, but still also allowing a significant amount of broadband data and RGB for the stars. So on the Heart Nebula you can see a lot more structure than you can with the L-Pro filter, and the stars look a lot better than they do with the narrowband filters. So in my case the results I think ranked quite clearly. So in first place I would say the Altair 6nm dual narrowband filter, followed by the L-eXtreme, then the Tri-RGB, then the L-Pro, and lastly the unfiltered. So I hope you liked the video, I hope you found it useful and learned something about filters. So I'm going to do another comparison video like this on reflection targets next time. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And I want to say thanks for watching, and as always I wish you all clear skies.